Hey guys, it is Tiara, the mortgage loan officer, and I want to talk about why you should not go house hunting prior to getting your mortgage pre approval. Okay, so let's talk about it. So, you have decided, okay, I am going to purchase a home. You've been thinking on it for a little bit, and this is the decision that you're going to make. So you go and you start just looking up houses. You're looking on Zillow and you're looking at all these websites at houses, and then you may see some houses just riding around. And so you decide that you're going to reach out to a realtor, or you sign up for these. You sign up on Zillow, you request information on Zillow, and a realtor is connected with you because realtors do get leads. And so they reach out to you and you're like, okay, I want to go see this house and I want to go see this house. So you're looking at houses, you look at houses and, for example, these houses are in a $400,000 price point. So you're looking at all these houses and you're just so in love because house hunting is very exciting. So you're looking at these houses and you're like, all right, I'm ready. I want to put in a contract for this and an offer for this home, but I need to go ahead and get pre-approved. So you reach out to the mortgage lender and you submit all your documentation, and they come back to you and they say, "All right, we can get you pre-approved for 250." Then, you're looking around like, "Wait, why is it so low? Like I was looking at houses at $400,000 and you're only pre-approving me for $250,000." This sets a false expectation. Going and looking at houses prior to getting pre approved for a mortgage loan. Why do I say that? Why does it set false expectation? Well, just think about it. You're looking at these houses, you get pre approved for $250,000. You're going, you can decide, okay, I'm not going to do that because I want more. I'm going to try to go to another lender. Or you are going to move forward, but you're going to be looking at houses that are 250,000 and under, but you're going to be trying to match what you saw in that $400,000 price point, and it turns to be frustrating because you're wanting all these things in your house. Oh, that $400,000 house had a pool and it had 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, backyard, it had a theater, blah blah blah. But these $250,000 houses don't have that. And so it makes the process frustrating. It's setting you up for that false expectation of your house buying process. When you go and you do that, when you're looking at houses before you get pre-approved, you don't know what you're going to get pre-approved for, because we think what we think we can afford and what lenders and banks think we can afford are two totally different things. Because when you factor in your income, your debt to income ratio is a big thing. Your credit score goes into play. You don't want to go house poor, things like that. When those things go and are put into play, what you think and what the lenders and the banks think are not always going to be the same. They're not always going to match up. And so again, it sets the false expectation of how you're thinking that your house buying process should go. I know, some realtors may go and show a house or two, or they may not. I've met some that do. I've met some that do not. um but I feel that it's best. I know that when with my process, I reached out to a realtor, which was my best friend, and then she directed me straight to a mortgage lender. We did not go look at houses until I had the pre-approval sitting in her email, because we're not going to go look at houses that I can't afford. I cannot afford. And that's what you're doing. You're just setting yourself up. I don't want to say for failure, but it's producing that false expectation. So yeah, you can look at houses online, but going to see houses and, it just, it doesn't make the experience, it doesn't bring joy to the experience, because the house buying process is joyful. It can be stressful, but it is supposed to be a joyful process. And so if you're doing things, I feel like that's doing things out of term. You get your mortgage lender, you get your pre-approval, then you connect with a realtor and you go look at houses, and then you submit a contract. That should be the process. Those should be the steps that you take. And sometimes we take those steps out of order. We do. But you have to be open to things not going your way and exactly how you want them to go. And so when you're looking at houses in a price point, a different price point, like, it's not necessarily going to be that. You may not get pre-approved for that just because you think that you can afford it. So I just wanted to hop on here and just, I feel like that's one of the bigger things that you need to remember when you are going into house buying. So, like I said, I am Tiara, the mortgage loan officer. And if you have any questions, please drop them below and I will answer them. Happy Tuesday.